I'm Reagan. I play the drums and I sing sometimes.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you all so much for being on here. It is awesome to be able to speak to you ahead of your show at the Reef tonight. So yeah, Out of Towner has been in Bloomington a couple of times, some of you, but we're hopefully going to get to know you a little bit more through this interview. We've got songs from your most recent project, the 202. We've got one to play, and then we have some new ones, which are maybe being debuted today. Is that true?
Yeah, we'll play some today. Well, yeah, this is the first time anyone's
heard
hearing them
these.
on the low key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're really excited to do that.
Okay.
If
awesome.
you hear these, no, you didn't.
That's right. Keep it mum. I think we should start, though, with hearing where you're coming from by playing Sober. Do you guys have any initial thoughts about this song before we get into it?
Yeah, this is definitely our favorite song from our record, the 202.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about pretty intimate thing, and it. What I'll say about it is, if anyone needs some strength out there, this song's for you, and I know you've got it. And yeah, the song's called Sober, and it's one of our favorites.
Awesome. Well, everyone, Sober by Leisure Hour. Enjoy.
Mom, stop for a minute. Bad sheet. What a scare. Ambulance in the kitchen. And it's bad, 'cause I don't care. 'Cause I don't care. I better stay sober, fight till it's over. Mother, I'm sorry for faking my closure. My brother kinda saved me from stepping right over. I better stay sober. I'm gonna get sober. addiction is here, but is it here to stay? I better stay sober, fight till it's over. Mother, I'm sorry for faking my closure.
All right, and we're back. That was Sober, Leisure Hour. I'm really excited to listen to the stuff, the newer stuff that you have been working on. But I do love that song, and I love the whole 202. It's a really great album.
Thank you.
Of course. I am curious, though. You guys have been around, it appears, since early 2020, Leisure Hour as a band, but it's kind of gone through some lineup changes. And Isaiah and Grace, you two are the original founding members, would that be right? Would you tell us a little bit about how the band formed, your origin story?
Yeah. That's crazy that you know that. How'd you find that out? You doing some
Instagram.
research?
Deep dive. I was scrolling.
I guess we started the band because we'd been friends for a long time, and I had been in bands and written songs, and Grace has been performing her whole life, doing dance and other stuff. We did a play together in high school, Willy Wonka.
Yes.
But yeah, and then eventually Grace was pretty much like, yo, if you help me learn the bass guitar, then we could start a band. And then we did it. And then we started a freaking band.
Yeah, and our friend Blake was our drummer. He also went to high school with us, and Blake and I did marching band together, so it was like a no-brainer for us to ask Blake to be our drummer. And it was a lot of fun, but you know, life just takes you different paths, and he is...
Where is he now?
He's in, like, North Carolina. He's living his best life somewhere.
He's like in Virginia or North Carolina.
Yeah, he's living it up. So then we actually had Ray fill in for him because he couldn't make it to one of our shows. It was our first ever house show and our first ever out-of-state show. We played in Columbus, and... oh my gosh, it was the most fun night that any of us have ever had. We, like, instantly became best friends. We instantly, like, it was the best we'd ever played. Like, it was just, oh my gosh, it was awesome. So then when we were in need of a new drummer, we definitely went to her first, and she basically was like, I've been waiting for you to ask me.
I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this day to happen. It was awesome.
Yeah, and that was, what, 2 years ago? In August of 2020?
Man, that's crazy.
August, yeah.
Okay, year
That's
and a half.
crazy.
It just feels like yesterday, though.
It really does just feel like yesterday. I remember after we played together, I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was like, I love Blake, and I love everybody. Like, they're all my friends, but if I ever get the chance to be the drummer of this band, like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. And I was just hoping and praying, and... it just ended up happening, and it was like, yes, done and done.
Heck yeah. The very natural addition, it seems like.
Yeah.
Bryson, how did you get involved?
What was the app called?
Gosh, why am I spacing it now?
I don't remember what it was called. It was basically some app for musicians to, like, meet each other and, like, connect and work on music.
Ooh.
Yeah, and, like, I thought this app was, like, a giant meme.
Was it Quadio by any chance?
What was it called?
No,
Quadio?
I'll look it
I don't
up.
think so.
Because I can't even remember the name.
But basically I opened it just because I just kept getting a bunch of notifications. I was
Vamper.
Like, Vamper,
That's
yeah.
what it
That's
was
what it
called.
was.
Yeah.
And I opened it just randomly one day, and, like, within 2 seconds of me opening it, Ray messaged me. He's like, hey, do you want to play the Hoosier Dome? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so essentially the story of Bryson coming along is when Reagan joined the band, we'd been in the middle of writing our upcoming record, The Sunnyside, which is like an emo rock record. And we did the thing. We raised like a bunch of money, made a bunch of sacrifices, and then ended up making the record last year in July. And like little did we know that like I tracked like over 6 guitar parts for every single song.
Yeah.
It sounds so massive, sounds so full, and we're so excited, but during it, we're like, we're going to need someone else to play with us live.
Yeah.
If we want to communicate how this actually sounds on the record. So
Right.
we're like, we need a live guitarist, and Bryson found Reagan online. And when was that? Has that been like 2 months ago?
I'm pushing
Yeah, it was
the
like-
2 months.
yeah,
line.
it was like
January
2
was the Hoosier Down.
January 11th.
Wow.
we
It
played
had to
Big
be
Dome,
like not that
and it was like
a
2 weeks
couple
before
weeks.
that.
Yeah, we like connected on similar bands and stuff that we liked.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, and then he sent me videos of him playing, and I was like, oh, you're really good. I was like, you should come play with us.
Yeah.
And it was instantly really easy.
Yep.
It's been really fun so far.
Awesome. So it's the four of y'all.
Until you find out about my dark mysteries.
That's true. Kind of. I'm just 2 months. You're still in the honeymoon phase. Like some crazy things could come out.
Yeah.
Ooh. Not to set the stage for anything. Just in case. How though was your dynamic? Just the three of you. I thought that was really interesting. Bryson, I didn't even know you were in the picture. Just through perusing social media.
I didn't
But I'm. Like, to be a rock band means to have a big sound, and to have just the three of you, like, that's definitely a challenge. How was kind of navigating that, and how did you approach creating a sound with just the three of you?
Nirvana, 100%. It's just Nirvana. Like, the use of dynamics is what I'm talking about. Like,
Okay.
they're asking how to be big as a three-piece, and it's dynamics, and it's Nirvana. Like, just palm muting or just bass on a verse, and then opening up the huge distortion pedal on a chorus, and then it's easy to sound huge when you have the best drummer in the world in your band. Like,
Yes.
Reagan Gordon is the best drummer in the world. I'm not the only one who says that, trust me.
No.
But yeah.
So modest.
I'm not. But I was going to say just like energy also. Like, I think the energy that you have when you're playing your instrument brings a lot to the sound too. I like to play like very intensely. If you can, you'll see me make some funny faces for sure. But like, I think
part.
just like playing intensely and like kind of like dynamics, knowing when to play soft, when to play big, and just like playing together, playing rhythms together and melodies together. I think like just kind of being cohesive with that just intensity is really kind of what made our sound huge.
Awesome. And now you've added a fourth, so the sound can grow
Yes.
huger.
Big.
Big things. I would love to play. So a song where I noticed the drums that you sent me was "I Don't Want This to End."
Yeah.
I love the like little stuttery stuff that you're doing on there.
Thank you.
So I think it'd be super cool to play that next. Any preliminary thoughts about this one before we jump in?
It's super fun to play live.
It is.
We have a lot of fun.
We'll be playing it tonight at the Reef.
Ooh.
So
I'm glad that you said something about the drums, because out of a lot of the new songs, this is easily like one of my favorite drum parts that I've ever written. So
Awesome.
I'm very glad that you said that.
one thing I
That makes me
noticed
very happy.
Yeah, of course. No, it definitely stood out to me. I really loved it. And we get to hear both of y'all on vocals.
Yes.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well,
It's like
we
our signature leisure hour sound, I would say, is like
Yeah, for
a song
sure.
with both of us on it together.
Uh-huh. And
Excited.
there's a couple of them. Also the Water Loves the Sunset, right? That's the two of you?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll have to play that one after.
I'm excited.
We're going to start now, though, with I Don't Want This to End, Leisure Hour. Enjoy.
I don't want this to end. Stop all things from making sense.
I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end.
If this ends, then I will be fucked, dude. I like what we have got going on.
If this ends, then I will feel stuck, dude. I like what we have got going on.
I don't want this to end. Stop all things from making sense.
I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end.
I don't want this to end. Take off, now I got the pen.
I don't want this to end. I don't want this to end.
And we're back. That was I Don't Want This to End. Hope you were paying attention to those drums because they were sick. You guys mentioned earlier how your first house show / first was out of state.
Yeah.
And just looking through your past show announcements, you guys are all over the place. I'm curious, and this is something that I asked Nama Nama too, because they are really good at getting out of the city and seeing other places. But I'm curious, is how important is it to you to branch out of Muncie? And at what point in leisure hour were you like, we need to explore outside of our home base?
Yeah, right now it's like the most important thing to us in the world.
Yeah, it is. Like, I mean, growing, we're a very community-based band, and the more we get to play out, the more we get to, you know, meet different kinds of people and network with different bands and artists and creatives of all sorts. It's just a chance to grow our community and our family more. And we've seen what we've been able to do in Muncie, and to be able to try to do that in other places is like a goal and a dream for sure. And like, you know, to invest in people as much as they invest in us and take the time out to really create meaningful friendships and relationships with people through art and through music. So,
and it's beginning to pay off because like the places that we would like frequent the most, I'd say right now are like Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Like, we haven't had a bad show there in the past couple of times we've played. Like, honestly, maybe ever. Like, it's like it's really fun, and we've made really awesome friends doing it too.
I'm definitely struck by like I said, I was stalking the Instagram a little bit earlier, but how people focused you are and how kind you are in the captions and of your post, and how grateful you seem to be to just be working with different creatives and connecting with people. Yeah, so that's I really love that you guys are so community oriented. That's super cool. Has there been any difficulties on like hitting the road and going on these tours?
Oh yeah, a bunch of difficulties, but it makes it all worth it. All the struggle is like so fun to look back and laugh on. And I don't know, right now we're just doing it in my parents' minivan. So Grace is a master at packing that van like Tetris.
Yes, I
a
am.
master. There's those struggles. There's, you know, I guess, yeah. What do you say?
Sleeping struggles.
Yes.
It's just we're in the DIY touring phase. So.
Yeah.
So it's very much so crashing on floors, crashing on couches, staying with people
that you just met that night.
that you just met that night.
And, you know, gotta just pray that you don't
Get murdered.
die.
Yeah. Literally.
And it's been wonderful so far. We've met really awesome people.
And had really cool experiences doing that kind of stuff. And also just like missing home. So, like, I miss my cats and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so like, then I'm like, oh, but then we play a show and I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. I can't wait to do it again. And then go to bed on the couch and I'm like, man, I wish I had my kitties and my girl.
My back is still messed up from sleeping on Caleb's giant beanbag.
Yeah, you gotta work through those struggles, but honestly, every time we've finished a run or a tour, even our longest one, like, we don't want it to end. Like, we literally could keep doing it for a month longer. Like, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I also saw that you guys, did you say the Sunnyside?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the newest project. Was that the one that you went to New Jersey for?
Yeah.
For a month to record?
5 weeks.
Yes.
5 weeks. Tell me a little bit more about that, because that is significant.
That was the first time I had ever been. Pretty much every state we went past Ohio, that was the first time I had been in any of those states, any of those places. And so that was a crazy experience. I remember feeling just like literally my stomach was in my toes, like the whole drive there, because I'm just like, oh, like, this isn't just like going on tour for like 2 weeks or whatever. Like, we are living here. Like, this is a huge step, and we worked so hard to get to that point.
Right.
And it's like, once we got there, I was like, I had like
terrifying.
it was like the anxieties of like trying to like work to get there. I wasn't able to really think about like what that actually meant. Like, you were going to be here for a month, but we were working so hard to make that happen that I didn't take time to like think about that. So then it kind of got there and we're leaving, and I just remember being like, oh my gosh, this is really happening.
Yeah.
But it was the best experience I've ever like had as a musician by far. Like, I felt like we became super close, and also I just think like we just became a better band.
Oh yeah.
We like found like the band that we are right now in New Jersey for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
a transformative month for all three of us as a band together and as musicians. Like,
Right.
and just as people.
Yeah. That's what they always say. You can find yourself in New Jersey.
That's my favorite.
I'd buy that
catchphrase.
t-shirt.
Yeah, I like that t-shirt.
You
Reagan
got
and I
bumper
found
stickers
ourselves
too?
at the Jersey Shore
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. We went to we did some fun stuff. We went to New York City. That was my first. Was that you guys' first time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was all of our first time. That was super cool. And then Grace and I had the pleasure with Isaiah, but he wasn't as
I enjoyed it,
Yes,
though.
yes, he enjoyed it, but he wasn't like a diehard Jersey Shore stan.
Sure.
But we did go to the Shore House, and it was amazing. We met Danny. He made us some shirts.
Yeah.
We toured the house. It was awesome, and yeah, that was a really fun experience
Yeah.
for sure.
It was a good month.
And getting to hang out with Grace's friends in Philly.
Yeah, we went to Philly a lot. You know, where we were staying in New Jersey, we were like 40 minutes away from a lot of fun stuff. An hour
Yeah.
away from New York, 40 minutes away from Philly. It was really easy.
And speaking of Nam and Namen, I actually saw them in Philly when we were out in New Jersey recording. They were
That's-
playing, they were doing their East Coast run.
Yeah.
And I saw that they were in Philly, and I was like, oh, shoot, if I can come, I'll slide through. So that was cool
Yeah.
getting to see, like, our friends from home, kind of, like, out doing their thing, you know? So, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tell me a little bit more about like how that opportunity came to be. Did you come in with all the songs ready? Like, what was the prep leading up to it?
So we pretty much had the songs done, had a whiteboard of all the songs, narrowed it down from 30 songs that we wrote, narrowed it down to like 14.
Okay.
And we have these songs, and Reagan sent me some studios to look at to record this record. We're about to go to Kalamazoo, and I get a phone call from Gary Sione, the producer and the owner of the studio. Loved the demos. Super nice guy. Could not say enough good things about Gary Sione at Sound Acres. He's like a father to us. Like, literally. Shout out Gary. But he calls us, instant connection, talking about music. It's awesome. He's like, yeah, I mean, 14 songs, though. It's going to take like 5 weeks. And we're like, oh my gosh, okay. And he's like, yeah. And then he told us how much it was going to cost. And it was $12,000, which doesn't sound like that much money. But if you're poor college kids in Midwest Indiana, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were still all struggling to pay rent at that time.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
It sounds like a lot of money to everyone in this room. Probably people listening.
I'm like 12,000. Yeah. No, I got that.
So he's like, yo, awesome record. Let's do it. It'll take 5 weeks to do it in July. You need $12,000. And without even a guess, like, I was like, I want to do it. And then I was nervous about asking them. And they were like, 100%, let's do it. We'll find a way. Like, so on the car ride to our show, we're talking about how we're going to do it. Long story short, we had 3 months to raise $12,000 as poor college kids for this record. And we wouldn't have done it if we didn't believe in the songs. And we did. So we each ended up like picking up extra shifts, and we put in $2,000 each for that, so that was half the record, and then the other half was completely crowdfunded, community-based. We did a GoFundMe, and we did a garage sale, which was fun, but the main thing was we did 2 DIY music festivals in Reagan's backyard, and we called them Backyard Fest, and like the best time ever.
Legendary.
Such a rewarding experience. Everyone was like, yeah, we'll help you do this. They allowed us to take all the proceeds, and we had like 100 people or so in Reagan's backyard and just had this DIY music festival. And not only was it really awesome for us and our community, but like it was really awesome for the Muncie scene.
Yeah.
Because you get all these awesome bands here just sharing their music in a DIY space, and we had a good sound system, and we had Reagan was making hot dogs and burgers. It was a great time.
Yeah.
That's how we made the money to get the record, and then we went and made the record. And it was awesome.
That is incredible that you guys were able to do that. Broke college kids, I'm there, I get it. And having the time to do that, and also the willpower to raise that much money. Congrats to y'all. That's incredible.
Thanks. That means a lot.
Yeah. How did you feel? You know what? I want to ask more about the record, but I also want to hear more from the record. Because each track is like, what? $1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, give or take.
Yep.
And what we're listening to now is $750. We're listening to unmastered versions.
Okay.
We
all
actually
right.
just got the masters today.
And it sounds even
It
better.
sounds-
That's
yeah,
news to me. What
it
the heck?
sounds
You guys didn't
even
tell me?
We
better.
just got the masters.
Yo.
So
We wouldn't want to give the people everything.
yeah.
Right now. There's more to come.
Literally.
Okay, exciting. I would love to hear out of Ivy's Tech Forgiveness and Water Loves the Sunset, what are you guys feeling at this moment of time?
Are we gonna do all of them today, or we're gonna?
I think we've got time for one or two more. So
We have to play Forgiveness, and then if not, we'll also play Water Loves the Sunset.
Yeah.
okay, love. We'll do Forgiveness. We'll be right back with Leisure Hour. But for now, enjoy.
And I don't know forgiveness anymore. To be someone I'm not is such a chore. I'm breaking down, I wanna be something for real. I'm breaking down, the traffic drives straight to a pill, and I can't forgive you. My words will drown when progress falters too surreal. Vague white walls fall down to the floor, and there's nowhere to hide without that door. I'm breaking down, I wanna be something for real. I'm breaking down, when traffic drives straight to a pill, and I can't forgive you. My words will drown when progress falters too surreal, and I can't forgive you. But I'm trying to. Oh, I'm trying to. And I don't know forgiveness anymore. To be someone I'm not is such a chore. Breaking down, can someone tell me how to feel? My words will drown if you don't show me what is real. I'm breaking down, can someone tell me how to feel? My words will drown if you don't show me what is real. I'm breaking down, I wanna be something for real. I'm breaking down, the traffic drives straight to a pill, and I can't forgive you. My words will drown when progress falters too surreal, and I can't forgive you. But I'm trying to. Oh, I'm trying to. I'm trying to. Oh, I'm trying to. Oh, I'm trying to.
All right, Forgiveness. I love that little synth keys breakdown, whatever we've got going on. So
Yes,
cool.
I love that part.
So this is just totally Grace on vocals.
Yes.
Were you in charge of writing this one?
Yeah, Isaiah and I wrote it together.
Mm-hmm.
Usually what happens is he will bring me some type of melody on a guitar, and then I'll think of a melody for lyrics, and then we'll kind of build the lyrics together. But this one we wrote a very long time ago. I can't even remember. Like, it really baffles me because we are, like, that it happened when it happened because, like I said earlier, we found the band, like, almost a year later. So it's really crazy that it is our favorite out of our upcoming
That's
songs.
a good point.
Like, I have demos of that song that I'm not playing on.
Yeah, when Blake
And
was
it's like,
singing.
it's crazy.
It is so weird. But it's definitely our favorite. I never get tired of it. I really, really love it. I'm really proud of it, too.
Good. Yeah. No, that's such a fun song. I feel like I was looking at past interviews and your guys' influences, 1975 Paramore Front Bottoms.
Yes.
I feel like I can kind of hear those influences like bleed through into the song a lot. And it's a really fun one to listen to. But I want to address the elephant in the room, which is you guys have been kind of the 202 seems to carry a different meaning with you now than maybe it once did.
Yes.
Do you have any, why is that? And yeah.
I think just going back to what I said, like, we found ourselves just in last July. So being so proud of the work that we have done really makes it difficult to play shows right now and ask, what do we promote? Do we play songs that people love and then go look us up and can't find online? So it's kind of like low-key a knife in the back.
Low-key.
On the lowest of low. But it is where we started, and we do have people back home that really do love some of those songs. And, you know, Sober's great. We do still love Sober, and I mean that. So it's just kind of hard to want to keep growing and being obsessed with what we're doing right now and have to kind of have, it's like you're like a little sister tagging along, like a little cousin. It's just like, go away. We're trying to hang out with the big leagues.
Yeah.
Don't. But
like
it's okay.
At Thanksgiving when you've transitioned from the kiddie table to
That's a
the
great
adult.
metaphor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
like
know?
we're still sitting at the kids' table.
You're still eating the Dino Nuggies.
Yeah.
while
We
you're
are
in a big chair.
23 years old.
Yeah. Well, I think that I hear where you're coming from. I get it. That body of work, it's different than the one you have coming out, but I think you should still be proud because it's really good.
Thank you.
Yes, and I hope, people, I encourage you to explore it while we wait for the big one. I have no idea if that other DJ is out, so we're going to preemptively end the show. I'm going to run out there, but we'll play Water Loves the Sunset to kind of fade us out, and if she's not there, we'll run back in and keep the interview going. But if this is the end, Leisure Hour, thank you so much for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been
so
so much
cool.
fun.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so great to talk. Everyone listening, you can see them tonight at the Reef.
Yeah.
Details on Instagram and with y'all.
Yeah.
You can find Leisure Hour on pretty much all streaming platforms. And it's been so wonderful to talk to you. Maybe see you in just a second, maybe not. But if not, we'll see you next week. Bye.
I love you like the water loves the sunset. I guess I gotta go. Trying to reach you in Pluto from the west coast. Drunk enough on the whole. Ooh. Sometimes I think too good to be true, holding on to nothing, hoping that something. You pull me like the ocean, you're mine. Wandering through nowhere, trying to get to somewhere. The wind is blowing in my hair, it feels like you. Because I love you. sunset, I guess I gotta go. Trying to reach you in Pluto from the west coast, drunk enough on the hope. Like autumn leaves that fall too quickly, I wish you'd never leave. 'Cause I love you like the water loves the sunset and rents too high by the sea. It's hard to wish on a star. Who's always right because I love you like the water loves the sunset. I guess I gotta go. Trying to reach you in Pluto from the west coast, drunk enough on the hope. Like autumn leaves that fall too quickly, I wish you'd never leave. 'Cause I love you like the water loves the sunset and rents too high by the sea.
And we're back. Luck was on our side today. Alyssa Andrews, it was not in the studio. We miss you. But we get to continue on with the show.
Whoop whoop.
That was Water Loves the Sunset, which is a little bit of a departure from the rest of your sound. Tell us a little bit more about that song.
For sure. It's definitely our like one slow, soft ballad. It's our love song.
It is. It's like I had that riff for a while. And you ever watched Juno?
Somebody asked me that yesterday, and the answer, still no, unfortunately.
You know how many Midwest emo mixtapes I see on YouTube that's like titled
Yeah.
Movies Like Juno?
Exactly.
So many.
There's a song,
By the Moldy Peaches called... What's it called?
I don't know, Anyone Else But You.
Yes, Anyone Else But You. But that guitar kind of inspired that little guitar riff. And then
And
we
a
wrote...
lot of the lyricism too. It's a little just like cutesy,
Yeah.
cutesy duet vibes. So we fell in love and we wrote that together, basically.
Yeah. And it's kind of about... Grace and I have kind of, like, loved each other for a while, but, like, haven't had the ability to express that. So that's kind of what that song's about. Like, I love you like the water loves the sunset, but I guess I gotta go. It's about, like, an inability to express that vulnerability with someone when you really want to. But, yeah, that's what that song's about.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cute. Dang, wow. Tear in my eye right now.
Me too, always. I still cry.
Oh. How does it feel? Because something that I was struck by in all of your songs is, I mean, in Sober, especially in this one, it's different depths of emotion talking about different things, but there's a lot behind these songs, and the things that you're writing about seem like they're coming from real places and aren't always the easiest things that you're writing about. How does it feel to be performing this music for other people, and what's been the reception? And do you ever, part 3 of the question, did you ever have a moment of hesitancy, feeling afraid to share such intimate details with people?
That is a fantastic question.
It's a
Yeah.
3-part question.
I know, I don't even remember
Loaded.
where I started, but however you want to answer that, go ahead.
I think we all like music that sounds really good and pleases the ear, but I think we all really like music that comes from a real place and means something.
Mm-hmm.
Music for me personally has always been a way to like heal and deal with things, and that's kind of always the music I think a lot of us have connected to.
Mm-hmm.
People have been responding to it fantastically. Like, the record's not even out yet, and if we've played some songs for people and played some songs live, and it's made people cry just because they hear that it's coming from a real place. And it's so weird how when you write a song that about something so specific and just so hard that you think it only happens to you, and you write a song about that, it touches someone else. It's just like the most beautiful thing about music.
That's
is
like
when
the
that happens.
coolest part about writing music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this song, the final song that we're gonna play too, Ivy Tech, I feel like is maybe a specific moment in which you write about, but it was something that hit me too, even though the specifics don't match up with my experience. But yeah, that's really beautiful. Who do you guys like in the local Muncie or Indiana scene? Who do you guys look to as inspirations or people that you would love to keep collaborating with?
That's a good question.
I know mine, but I'll wait.
Well, Whitney at Be Here Now always does as well. That's a venue,
Okay.
But Be Here Now can't say enough great things about them.
Mm-hmm.
As far as artists, there's a lot of artists that are just going out there and doing the thing, and it's awesome. There's not a lot of emo or pop punk bands, however.
Yeah.
So we kind of feel alone in that fact. Let's start naming some artists that we like, though.
Okay,
from the
mine's
area.
not like I'm such a big fan of Headband Henny.
Yes,
Yeah.
Headband
They're not
Henny up in
local.
Kalamazoo.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were so cool.
Headband Henny's going to be famous someday.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very good
It's
artist.
famous to me right now.
Yeah. As far as some Indiana, love Summer Brews. Juice Falls, really awesome.
Arcadia Gray.
Arcadia Gray, The Day
Mhm.
After. A Modest Proposal is a band that I've been listening to a lot recently from, I think they're from maybe either Indy or somewhere around here, but really good band too. All American Chess Club.
Yeah.
From Terre Haute.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, there's so many. And then we've also just made, since we've been touring more and playing more out of state, we've made a ton of friends that aren't in Indiana that I listen to a lot, like Moose Creek Park and Inner Love, just bands like
Small
that.
Foreign
Small Foreign
Faction.
Faction. Yeah. There's so many. Yeah. Clipboards.
Reagan
Saturdays
with the
at your
master
place.
list. That's
Reagan knows
we
everything.
just whipped out
knows
15
everything.
bands. That was awesome.
Yeah, there's
She's like a
just
Rolodex of band information.
I just like really love learning about different scenes, and I just like I've been a part of like DIY culture since I was 16, and so it's just something that I absolutely love learning about, and I love like, even if we haven't played with a band, like I love just like researching bands from different scenes that are really killing it and like are putting out great music, because at the end of the day, like, our paths may cross at one point. And touring has really like shown us that it's like we'll go somewhere and they're like, oh, this band from New York that we played like with on tour, and like it's really cool. You don't think it's a big community overall, but it's still so small sometimes. You start to realize eventually like everybody kind of knows everybody. And even if you don't, your paths will cross one day. So
Yeah.
I like researching and meeting people.
No, and that's a great point that you mentioned earlier about emo music. You guys being one of the few emo bands. The cool thing is, like, me personally have not listened to a ton of emo music in my life, but it's still something that I was telling you guys, I like happened to listen to a Pool Kids album the other day and was like totally fell in love, because I don't know, there's something about it that just feels universal. Like, and I guess that's emos for emotional, right? And we all have emotions. So
It hits everybody. It hits everybody in their own way.
yeah. So I think it's cool you guys kind of exist in a liminal space where you would pair well with anybody, which is super cool. Yeah, there wasn't a question born out of that, but
I like that response. That was cool.
yeah, I would love to play Ivy Tech, and end on a a good.
It's a great
sad,
note. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
it's a
gonna
great
feel
note.
fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's about how you find beauty in perishability and how death is the mother of beauty. And I think a lot of people are scared of death and a lot of people have harsh feelings towards it, which is understandable. But it's beautiful. And this moment's special right now because we're not always going to be here. And that's what makes it all awesome. So, yeah.
Beautifully. Well said. Yeah, everyone, this is Ivy Tech Leisure Hour. We'll be back at the end to say our goodbyes for a second time. But for now, enjoy the song and we'll see you soon.
Gone. Another chance to see my mom cry loudly. I guess that's just part of life to feel this in my chest. That makes 2 and 7 days. Special times for special graves. One had a calling today. A third one just died. I learned from a call. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I always learn from a call. Every time I hear that phone start to buzz, I'm sure to know that feeling at Ivy Tech when my brother got into that wreck. Buzz, 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 oh shut the fuck up. I don't need this in my head. It's a hard pill to swallow. Everyone you love will end up dead. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Always turn from a call.
All right. That was Ivy Tech. This has been Growing Pains with Leisure Hour. Once again, we've said it, but I'll say it again. You should definitely check these guys tonight at the Reef. And it has been wonderful talking to you all. I'm glad we had our extra 10 minutes. I hope it's not pouring rain by the time you guys get outside again.
Yeah,
Me too.
It probably is.
If you're not
It's
in
okay.
Bloomington, it was pretty brutal a little earlier today. But once again, wonderful to have you, wonderful to know you and meet you. And please come back if you're ever in Bloomington.
Absolutely.
You're always welcome on. But for everyone else, I will be back maybe next week on a Wednesday because I will be going away for spring break. But if you don't hear from me next week, you'll hear from me in like 3 weeks. And stay tuned for some more cool interviews. Thank you all so much for listening. This has been Growing Pains on WIUX. I'm Natalie Ingles, and I'll see you when I see you.